show, and I have some exciting guests here I'm going to talk to. First, I want to apologize to Miss Riri before I even get started because she called me. I hung up on her.
And I cried on the inside.
But she understood why. You get all these phone calls. So anyway, I just wanted to say that.
No
and
problem.
You can edit that out if you want to, but I just want to say that. And then we have Mr. Eric Hunter, and we're here to talk to him today. He has a movie. He's into a lot of different things, but we're going to focus on a movie. But if we get into the other things, that's fine because I think you're doing a lot of exciting things. I know you had if I'm not mistaken, you had a hoodie line.
Yeah.
And I might want to get into that as well, too, because I think it's interesting. I need to find out how to get one of those hoodies. But first, let's talk about the exciting movie and find out who you are. The movie's called Sundown. Talk to me about that. Let's start there, and then I want to get some history because you've done music and all kind of other things.
Okay, definitely.
Yes, sir.
Well, the movie is called Sundown, and this movie was inspired by basically, all the different towns that are around America that you can't go into, right? If you're a minority, you can't go into a sundown town because if you go into that sundown town, one, you may get harassed. Two, if you're there after sundown, after 5 or 6, they can kill you. They can, harass you,
whatever they want to do.
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
or leave an impression on you, right? Send you home with an impression.
Right, no doubt, no doubt.
For that, this movie needed to be made, right? So it's not a movie that's like, oh, this is just a historical movie. Where it's not that. It's
still happening right now today. Yeah,
like
it's
right
very
now.
relevant, sadly to say.
Exactly,
Which is crazy.
I don't think that there's a lot of people don't know about it. The generation of 18 and younger.
Really? You don't think so?
A lot of our actors didn't know about it. And we got 21, 22, 23-year-olds.
Wow.
And they're like, I would have never known about a sundown town if it wasn't for me acting in this movie.
Wow.
So us being older, it's like we got to pass that knowledge down to them. But, you know what it is. It's like the best way to get a message across is through media. And the best way nowadays is music or content.
Yes, sir.
Right? So we said, okay, let us go ahead and make this movie, right? So this movie is about Damon and Kelly, an interracial couple, a black man and a white woman who fall in love, who he asks, to marry him. And from there, he takes her to meet his parents, and he got that one aunt that's just like, nah, no, she got secrets, I don't like her, this is that, we just gonna welcome strangers in. I don't like none of that, right? And in that role, we got Charnel Brown in there, playing that role of the auntie, from a different world. So, she's doing her thing. We got his parents played by, Shelton Benjamin, who's a WWE superstar.
Yeah.
Sharmell Huffman, who's WWE superstar. So really great cast around them. Go to meet.
How were you able to put all that together, man?
We had a great producer with Stefan Davis who was able to really corral, those people to us, right? We've already had contacts with these different people. We kept running in circles with each other, like we wanted to do something. But when this project came along, it was just a no-brainer, right? We were able to get them in the mix and knock that out. Right, and they brought so much to the movie with their dynamic with our main characters.
Gotcha.
Right, our other producer Lydia Enriquez, she was able to get us a situation with Diboll, Texas, which is where when the characters get done having to meet the parents for his parents, they got to go and meet her parents, right? And they go to Dallas, they're coming back flat tire. They end up in Grifton, and Grifton takes place inside of Diboll, right? So when we met with the mayor of the actual town Diboll, we were able to get the keys to the city.
Wow.
So the whole city, the whole town was our set.
Wow,
right?
nice.
So that really came together really great. We had Joe Brown, who's a biker out there, and you're thinking like, oh, a big scary biker, but this guy was like so humble. His nickname is Gandalf. He has a long beard. You know what I'm saying? But his bikers follow him to no end, right? Yes. So awesome, right? So we had all these different pieces coming together to where when they get in this town, right, it starts to really get wild, right? They're warned.
Don't give too much of the movie away.
No. I'm not. Okay, it's just it gets wild.
Okay.
And I definitely want to say, we had Chris Siegler and we had Nathan Kirby who came on board. These two great actors. They really helped us take it to another level as far as action. You think this is a horror thriller, but when you get to that, later into that movie, the action is just nonstop.
And let me ask, how hard was it for you to put all this together? Like I know you said that Mr. Stefan Davis did a great job putting it all together, but when you start putting these ideas in your head that you want to do this kind of movie, earlier, and I hate to say this, but early before we started, put the tape on, you were saying that, it's different when you want to do music. It can you can almost be a one-man band.
Right.
When you start putting together the idea of a movie, you can write it, but after you write it, it might need a director, and you could be both, but then you're going to need somebody to play parts. You can't do it all.
Right.
You need a team of people. What was that process like of getting all these people? And I know you said Mr. Stefan was helping you with that, but how difficult was there? Any true difficulties in that?
Definitely. Well, to answer that question in parts, Stefan was a big piece. We had another producer, Harmony. He was a big piece. Lydia. We had these great producers that were helping Stefan, of course, and then Riri was the glue. Riri was the glue to put everything together.
And what does Riri do, by the way? I know she makes sure you in your place, but what else does Miss Riri do?
Yes, I am the lead producer on the project.
Okay,
for
gotcha.
Sundown.
Okay.
Also, play a big part in the company EDH as well. But like Eric was saying, just doing the casting, making sure everybody's on point on set, making sure all props and makeup and everything is done, making sure everyone know their parts, scripts, making sure everyone knows location, and I'm just making sure everybody is where they're supposed to be, when they need to be there, and how they're supposed to be there.
Exactly. She keeps all the trains running, right? So with this movie, it's totally different than music, right? Because when I was in Colorado, love Colorado. It's a box state, right? That's my city. It was different. We started off, when I was younger, we loved to rap along to the music that's on TV, use our, remote controls and rap into it. And as time grew on, went on, we started forming like a love for music, and we started to make the music. Me and my cousin be in the basement. I got the pencil. I'm making the beats. We got a little recorder with the tape in it. He's rapping into it, and we just grew from there. And then it went to, now we're in high school, and now I'm making, beats on the bathroom door, and he's rapping, freestyling, right? So we had our whole, community in our city and in our town and our school. It was just about music, right? So from there, it's like, okay, we're going to really do this, right? So we started, really pushing into music. I became like the front man. So I'm organizing people. I'm making beats. I'm having people come over to my house producing. I'm teaching them cadence. I'm teaching them all this stuff, but they're teaching me, right? Then I started getting shows for all of them, right? So for me, I'm managing this team. And then I got so much of a love from it bouncing off of them, I started doing music myself. I started writing and rapping and all that.
So how's all this music, because it seems like music is your background, how does this transition into, I'm going to be a filmmaker?
I'm going to tell you, that definitely. For me, film was always my safe space. I'll go to movies and I can go see 2-3 movies. That's my safe space. I can escape from the world with movies, right? And the worlds collide with music and movies in this way, right? I loved it. I became talent for somebody, for their school, and I was doing talent, and I'm coming in just giving them something to work off in film, right? And I started off acting, and I got into it, loved it, and then I got the bug, and I was like, I really want to try this, right? So I had a mentor, Keisha Copeland, who was like my mentor, and I started writing a script. Of course, hey, this sucks, try again, right? From there, I started really pushing and trying to merge the two. And I found a love for music that I could push into the movies.
Absolutely.
Right? So the way that works for me is I can't write a film unless I'm listening to music. I have to find the music that can inspire me to see the movies and see the words and see the characters, just like you would with music, right? You find that beat, and then you start catching a vibe, right? You start scatting, right? So it's the same thing with movies. It's like, okay, I got this music, right, that's playing in my head, and now I'm starting to hear a character, and the character's like, I lost this, I lost that, who am I? I lost this, I lost that, who am I? And I'm starting to figure out who is this, and then boom, it starts talking to me, right? But it's all through the music, the movie. I can't write it without.
Will there be a soundtrack for it?
Double disc.
Okay, I'm just
already.
Okay.
See, and that's the thing with music. Like I said, okay, we got an amazing single from Harmony, right? He's a gospel rapper, killed it, right? But for me, I really wanted a soundtrack that fits it, right? So I have a double disc for this where it's double-sided. One side is Gen Z. It's music that makes you feel good. It's good. It relates to the music or to the movie, but it's good music. The other side is called Damon's Pain, which is the main character. And that one is kind of like, I try to do it like a Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City, where from the beginning to the end, it's every track, it plays off of his life in the movie, right? But the thing I did was... kind of goes to my spirit of being in music. So this movie, I decided I'm gonna write, I'm gonna create it, I'm gonna write it, I'm gonna direct it, I'm gonna film it, I'm gonna edit it, I'm gonna score it, I'm gonna color grade it, I'm gonna do the graphic design, I'll do all that, right? And that way,
it's a lot.
It's a lot. And if it lives or dies, it's based on I messed up or I didn't.
Yeah.
Right? So it's me taking that Kobe mentality, Mamba is like, I'm gonna make sure I put it on my shoulders and make it happen, right? For what I gotta do. The actors do what they got to do. She keep the trains running, but I'm going to make sure this thing lives or dies, right? So with the music, I decided I'm going to take that same mentality. With all the advancements that's going on with music or with AI, I decided to make the whole thing myself. right? So I wrote all the lyrics for each track. And then I decided to craft what it's going to sound like, the drums, the music, and everything. And then I made it track by track. So that way, the music, when you listen to that first disc, Damon's Pain, it's exactly what I want the story to be about.
Are you telling me the music is also, it could possibly be AI generated music on the soundtrack?
Exactly. It's pretty much all of it.
Wow.
But it's AI generated.
It's all AI generated, but it sounds just like the human
Everything.
version.
Yeah. No
right?
doubt. No doubt.
Now, the reason of doing this is not like, oh, well, forget humans. The reason of doing this was like, well, at this point, we are self-funding this thing. So how do we still create a amazing experience and give them quality products without having to break
use
the bank?
technology to help you along.
Exactly.
You almost have no choice. But the vision of the director and writer is still there. Exactly. You can orchestrate the way you want the movements to be made with AI. Now, is the movie also have some AI? I have to ask, some AI generated moments as well.
So the opening credits is AI.
Okay.
Right. We use for the actual intro title with the logo. That's AI. We have a couple scenes where you may see somebody, there's somebody down and they're hurt, and it's a black person. We AI'd a couple scenes like that.
Wow.
Right. The AI videos come so far along where we were able to do that. And really, again, it's not to replace our human actors. It's to add to.
It
right.
enhances.
It enhances
the scene.
So being able to use AI is how we bridge the gap and we catch up to Hollywood, right? So with this,
was there any fear in that? Because I know there's some folks that's so anti, AI, and then you got other folks. I got to do what I got to do, and if I have this tool that can help me along, so be it. So
well, yeah, definitely. When we first started this thing, it was like, well, all last year we said, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna spend a year. Just because we took a year to develop this and write it and all that, right? We wrote like 15 different scripts, right? So through that year, we said every month we're gonna make a short film. And we're gonna test out every different aspect of AI, right? Being able to replace a character with an AI created character, being able to work on the sound and clean up the sound with AI, right? Being able to clean up the images with AI, make promotional pictures with AI. So we want to see how much we can do and how far we can push it with AI to when we get to this year and we film this, we already know what we're gonna use, how we're gonna do it, right? So we threw balls out there, to test, right? Hey, y'all, check out this picture. Hey, y'all, check out this short. Hey, y'all, check out this song and see what people's reaction would be, right? Instead of just doing a whole movie and not knowing how people will react. Some people liked it, other people didn't, and we were kind of testing out some of the AI when the strike was going on, right? But my thing is, with AI, it's like, it's inevitable. It's like
either embrace it or get left behind.
It really is.
I dig it. Now, how far out with the movie? When can we expect to see it? Is it going to be on multiple platforms? Is this something that's going to be downloadable? What's the deal with that? Miss Riri, I'll let you, jump in there if you want to jump in.
Yes, we actually will be on multiple platforms. We've already signed a deal for distribution, so we're looking for local, even global, different countries where it'll be displayed as well. Yes, it will be downloadable as well through our distribution company. So yeah, we're ready to go.
Okay.
We're locked and
Now, is there
ready.
an actual date where the movie will be released? What's the actual release date for the movie?
So we have a release date for the screening, but we're still waiting on our release date from the actual distributor. We made a deal to ourselves that we're going to take our time on this and make sure it's edited properly and everything's done properly. So we took this whole year to get it done the right way. We had some challenges, with the weather being crazy in Houston and delays, but we said we're going to take our time and push through and make it happen the right way. So right now we're finishing up the last touches on the editing, and then it goes to the distribution company late October. We're going to have a screening for this November 16th. Okay. So that's when the people will be able to actually come out and see it.
And will it be for public consumption? Can they be a part of it, or this is going to be a special event and only industry eyes will get the opportunity to see it? Or will folks, if there's a lot of people, they love the independent movie scene, and they want to be the first to see what's really out there. Will they get the opportunity to?
You mean for November 16th?
Yeah,
definitely. It's an event. It's the Masked Sundown event. It's a masquerade, so we're encouraging everyone put your ball gowns on, your tux, your suit, and wear a mask. Mask required.
Okay.
So come dressed, dressed to the T. And so yes, we are open. We are inviting everyone to come. So definitely, if you need the Eventbrite link. I'm sorry, to post, so you can go ahead and get the word.
Do y'all can you get that information out? Is that information available now? So if somebody want tickets or they want more information,
absolutely.
Yeah, if you can give that information.
So what they can do is they can go into our Facebook on EDH, on our page on Facebook. EDH Media is where they can find us.
EDH
Media. And then if they go in there, they'll see the poster for the movie, and then they'll see the link underneath. They can buy their tickets there. And when they buy a ticket, they're going to get the soundtrack for free. They're going to get an ebook. We're making.
They like free, brother.
You understand me? So they're gonna get a lot of free things. The making of this movie, making of Sundown, free, right?
Is all that
free.
Already available?
Yeah, well, it's going to be.
It's going to be. Okay, gotcha.
When we give away too much, but
but
the thing, I got to tell you, for me, it's personal with this movie, right? For me, my love for movie was threatened, and that's before I moved to Houston in 2013. In 2012, I actually survived one of the worst massacres in American history. In Aurora, Colorado, a man by the name of James Holmes came in and he really decimated and massacred people in my community. Crazy things, that was connected to that, right? I'm working at the University of Colorado Hospital. He was doing his clinicals at the same hospital. We probably ate lunch in the same room at some point, right? And at that point, I was going to run for councilman, right? So all this stuff was lining up to where, I go to the movies at night, and I'm enjoying the movie, and this man comes in and he starts shooting up the movie theater, right?
Oh, wow.
And you have two movie theaters, auditoriums. You have this one here where he was in, and I'm in this one. And as he starts to shoot people up in his theater, the bullets are coming through the wall, right? We don't know it at the time, right? We're watching a movie, we're watching Dark Knight Rises, and all of a sudden we're pop, 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 pop. And it's happening, which the crazy thing is, it's happening at the same time when there's a shootout in the movie, right?
Wow.
So everybody's singing like, okay, that sounded a little real, but that's the movie,
Maybe
right?
they got some Dolby going on extra.
That's what I was thinking. Because when you heard it, it's like you hear the pop, 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 and we kind of pop up. And then we sit back down, and then smoke is coming through into the movie theater. And we're thinking, okay, they're doing something special, right? Add an atmosphere. But now it's starting to fill up with smoke. More bullets are going off. At this point, okay, something's wrong. I'm standing up. My boy's like, hey, I don't know what that is. I said, man, something's not right. I look down and I see, somebody fell out their chair. And I'm like, what's that about? So I'm starting to go down the stairs. And as I go down the stairs halfway in the auditorium, I see blood on the ground. And at that point, I'm like, I turn back to my boy Tyrone, like, hey, man, something's wrong. We got to get out of here. Like, somebody's shooting here. So I'm continuing down the stairs. I get to the actual screen and I make a left and I go over to the emergency exit. At that point, I open the door and I'm trying to find a way out. When I open that door, I open the door and I see two young white girls there. And one shot in the jaw and one shot in the shoulder.
Damn.
And they're like, hey, please help us. Somebody's shooting in our theater, right? At this time, I'm not knowing that there's people in our theater shot too. I freeze for a second. And the door's starting to close. And then I open the door back up and I pull them in after I snap out of it. And as I'm pulling them in, I'm closing the door, I'm hearing bangs on the door, right? So this guy's on the door on the other side trying to get in because he wants to do the same exact thing in ours, right? I'm not thinking about that. I'm holding the door a little bit. I let it go because I don't want to get shot through the door. And I usher the girls back into the actual auditorium. I get them on the wall and I'm checking them over. And, this movie theater is crazy, right? Because there's certain people in the theater that's crying and screaming. There's some people frozen and looking. There's other people. My boy was leading out out the top of the top exit. And there's a guy. He said, "Hey, I'm an off-duty paramedic. I can help you. You want me to check him out?" I said, "Please check him out." And I back up. I go over to the across from where I'm at, right? And I look on the wall and I'm checking. I'm running my hands across the wall and I'm seeing that these bullet holes are real. And I'm like, this is crazy. I was married at the time, and I called my wife at the time, and she didn't answer. And then she called back, and then I'm telling her what's happening. I'm saying like my last goodbyes, right? Because I don't know what's happening. Nobody knows what's happening. We don't know how long this is going to be. We don't know if somebody's coming in through the other entry.
It's a group of people.
Exactly.
You don't know what's going on.
Nothing, right? So say that. And then I put the phone down. I'm like, hey, we need to find, we need to hit the emergency alarm. We need to let people know this is happening. We need to let somebody know this is here. We need to call the cops, right? So we find emergency alarm. It's right behind the girls that's being helped. We hit that, and then we start making calls, right? And I'm starting to kind of walk through the entry of the auditorium that goes into the hallway. And I'm going through this dark hallway, and then all of a sudden the doors burst open, and it's two guys, and they have guns, and they're like, we need everybody to exit this auditorium. And I'm backing up. And I'm saying, who are y'all, right? I don't know who they are. They don't have FBI. They don't have cop uniforms on, nothing. and it said, we're the cops. We need everybody to exit. Put your hands up. Move out. And I said, well, look, until I see the badge, until I see something, I'm not leaving. I don't think anybody else should leave until you guys can show. I'm not dying today. You know what I'm saying? That's what I told them. And they scoffed at me. I didn't know who they were.
Right.
You know, so at that point, they go back out and, you know, I'm checking on a couple people, just seeing how they're doing. And then at that point, cops come in, full SWAT gear, all that stuff.
Okay,
you know, and they're like, okay, you guys need to move out. And I said, okay, there's 2 girls here. Can you help them, please? I'll move out. I exit this auditorium, man. And when I exit out, and all this is in my psyche of, again, you know, movie theaters is my special place. Movies are my special thing. That's my thing, right?
Somebody's messing with your thing, right?
Messing with my thing.
No doubt.
I exit this auditorium, and there's people on the ground screaming, bleeding. There's blood on the wall. There's pandemonium. There's lights flashing, everything. I'm going toward the lobby, more of the same. People coming from the other side. The theater that got shot up, there's a kitchen in between us. So them bullets is going through the kitchen, right? So these people are being transported out. You know, whoever can get out, they're bringing out. I make my way to the actual exit door, and at that point, I'm seeing a sea of people, right? It's just a sea of people. I reunite with my friends. We hug. We crying. At that point, we don't know what's going on. You know, I make my way to the officer. I say, hey, what's going on? You know, like it's like, are we safe here? And he's telling us, well, you know, there's a madman. He's shooting in this theater. There's a bomb in the back. We're sweeping the wall behind us.
I totally forgot about this story.
Right, and a lot of stuff they don't tell you. Like nobody knew there was a bomb in the back of the movie theater in the car. Right, you just see the pictures with the glass broken out. But if you're from Colorado, you know he didn't get caught back there. He was in the crowd with us. They don't tell you that.
What?
Yeah, he's in the crowd with us. This stuff is crazy, bro. So. This is happening at this point.
This is movie part 2 right here.
Yeah. And well, the script is written, but you know, and it's for real. But at this point, you know, people.
What
screaming.
A lucky night, man! It's still a blessing, you know, because a lot of people, unfortunately, you know, the unfortunate happened that night. And the interesting part about all of it's interesting, but I'm curious as to what made you say I still, because this, as you know, since you've been talking, you was talking about this safe space. Your space was always going to movies. And now that's been disrupted. Right. And it's interesting to me that you've still stayed in this field and you make movies. Do you feel safe in theaters now? And what was your process? Not to deter, because I don't want people to forget about the movie we're talking about, your Sundown movie.
And I'm gonna run it together though. I'm gonna run it together because it definitely connects. For me, I went back to see that movie 2 weeks later, right? Because for me, I seen a little girl be carried out with her bullet through her brain. You know, I seen these people shot and hurt. I seen all this stuff right that night. And my thing I learned about myself is I didn't want to die. I wanted to make a mark in life, and I love helping people. And you know, from there, it's like I seen that when the chips are down in this country, no matter what color you are, what faith you are, we come together, we believe in each other, we help each other, right? Mm-hmm. So I said this guy was like a terrorist, terrorizing my community, terrorizing me, right? It built up to this point. I had a story, I went for debriefing, and then they're asking me, what's your name? Spell it out, blah, blah, blah. Tell me your story. What's your name? They're surrounding me, and I'm answering all these questions. And then I'm going on Good Morning America and LA Times and all this stuff, and I'm doing these interviews, and I'm starting to speak for my community. Hey, man, we love that you're speaking for us. You know, you the ACO hero, like, really, like, keep doing it, right? Mm-hmm. Then, you know, found out that there's, you know, he booby-trapped his building, and then I get some person that put up on YouTube, Eric Hunter, you must watch this. He's an Illuminati Marine, you know, whatever, and he put spooky music on my, you know, got images from my Facebook, all this stuff, right? And all this stuff was hitting me at the same time, and I pulled back from the interviews. And then I said, but dang, this dude is taking something from me. He's taking my love for movies. He's taking the movie theaters from me. He's taking this art form from me. And I said, I can't do that. I'm going to go and face my fear. I'm going to go back to that movie theater. I'm going to see this movie, as scary as it's going to be, because I was terrified of it happening again. So from there, I went and I said, I'm going to see this movie. Boom, I went to see the movie. I made a decision with my family, move out back to Houston. I'm born here. I lived here until 7. Yeah. And the crazy thing is, with violence, man, like the reason I moved to Colorado is because I got shot in my head when I was 7. Wow. I was in Big Spring, and me and my cousin was playing cops and robbers, and he had a shotgun, pellet gun. You know, back in the day, them things really, you know.
It can cause serious damage.
Really, no right? Doubt. So the sad thing is, I'm boom, boom, my play gun, he got his dad's shotgun, boom, boom, bam. Boom, shot me here, landed here. You see this knot? That's what that knot is.
Oh, wow.
That's the bullet. They couldn't take it out. And if they would have took it out, it would have killed me, right? This is all coming back around. So
you got a whole bunch of different stories, bro.
There's a lot of stuff, right? But that fed into my thinking of like, dang, I've been dealing with this kind of gun violence and trauma for a minute, and I didn't know it. I grew up with trauma with gun violence, so I didn't know it until I looked back, right? And now this guy terrorizes me. So I'm going to go and take my art form back, and I'm going to see this movie. I move out to Houston, and I said, okay, I'm starting fresh. I don't got no job out here like I got some money that I'm moving with, but I don't got nothing. I'm going to go get a job at a movie theater and be a manager, and I'm going to face that thing, right? So I worked as a movie theater manager, and I was manager at Batteries Plus for about a year.
Wow.
And I went through tears working there because I'm like, nah, you ushers, y'all working on these doors. I want y'all doing, 10-minute intervals. I want theater checks every 10 minutes. I want you hitting that. I had people on the roof with binoculars, bro.
Wow.
Like I wasn't playing no games, and I was pushing my gym like, you need to tell corporate, like we need to implement these different things because we can't let another situation happen again. And then she gave me space to be able to we had early morning meetings on Saturdays, and I was able to address the employees. I'm like, look, I went through this, and it's what you need to look for, right? You need to look for certain things to keep these people safe. Because you got really in a movie theater, you got a bunch of strangers in a boxed up room looking at lights on the wall. And you're responsible. Yeah, and you're responsible for it. So with that, I said, I'm going to push back and I'm going to take my art form back. I did that. And then from there, I said, I'm really going to get into movies like I've always wanted to. And I'm going to make it. And every movie I make, every short film, every show, everything I do with film, with content is me stating that this guy can't take my freedom, can't take my love, can't take nothing from me. It's a statement, you know what I'm saying, that it's a rebelling against that ideal of, well, this guy thought in life, the more people I kill, the more points I get. That was his mentality, you know what I'm saying? So no, we're going to push against that. So when we make Sundown, the completion of it, the filming of it, the production of it is a statement. You know what I'm saying? You can't take this art form from us. You can't take this love from us. You can't take creativity from us. You know what I'm saying?
Most importantly, it can't be taken from you.
It can't be taken from me. And the idea of being diverse and making Sundown and having interracial couples, I saw that night. It don't matter what color you are. Those barriers got to be broken down.
So it all has a piece of that of what you saw that night.
Exactly.
Little pieces scattered through the. I got it. I dig it.
You know?
dig it.
And I mean, that plays off of the.
Did you ever get any therapy? I'm just curious. After you go through something so traumatic, I would think that it takes you time to readjust, because I think I don't think a lot of people, after shootings happen, the world moves on. But those people in shootings, they don't, and I don't never hear stories about those people afterwards. And so, I have this situation with you in front of me now, somebody that dealt with that situation. How do you continue to not relive that experience? And is there therapy that you had to go through for your mental health?
Well, that was tough, right? Because as being a black man in America,
especially during that time,
what you crying for?
Yeah.
What you messed up about? Like I had cousins talking about, it wasn't like you was Arnold Schwarzenegger pulling people out by your teeth. I'm in the Army. We see that all the time. I'm like, yeah, I'm a civilian though. You know what I'm saying? I'm a civilian though. Yeah, but in the ghettos and the streets, yeah, but this ain't the ghettos and the streets. This is a safe space where you aren't like, man, there's kids there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, like I worked in a hospital at the time, and I got transferred from the hospital I was at, and I transferred and worked for a different hospital because it was just too close to home. So when I worked at the next hospital, like I'm working in the ER, and when the lights go off, it's giving me that trauma. Like I'm flipping out, and I got to go to my admin's office, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta chill for a second because I'm starting to flip out. I couldn't work in the medical industry anymore. I went to school for medical, you know what I'm saying? So I couldn't work in the industry anymore. So it's like I'm dealing with that trauma, and like at the time they offered help, they offered therapy.
You turned it down.
I turned it down,
Because you're a man.
Yeah, I'm a man.
Particularly a black man.
Right? And I'm thinking that, so
I'm hard.
I never got that therapy, man, and I worked it out. But honestly, with my music and my movies, it helped me work it out. And then writing this movie, or writing the screenplay for the massacre, because my thing was I wanted to put people in my shoes. I wanted to put people in the shoes of a massacre survivor, a shooting survivor, and so you could see what it's like. You know what I'm saying? You need to feel the horror and everything that goes with it, to maybe you'll think differently. Maybe you'll look at this differently, because it's it was horror.
I'm gonna throw this out there. I'm just curious because then I'm gonna get off of it.
Yeah. You good.
What's your thoughts on guns at this point? You know, you in Texas.
Yeah.
So Texas as a state, you know, you ain't taking nobody's gun in Texas. I don't know about the rest of the map, but in Texas, folks in Texas got a thing for their guns. I'm just curious, being in that situation, what's your take on guns and gun violence? You know.
Well, I put it to you like this, bro. Like, my thing is, looking back at that night, it wasn't because he had a gun that really made it happen. This dude called the hotline for, like, you know, where they talk you out of being having a psychotic break. He called and nobody answered. And if they would have answered, he would have never shot.
I don't remember that part of the story.
They don't tell you that. That's in the court case, in the debriefing. I did a lot of research for this.
So he had called somebody to stop him before he got that close to the...
And they didn't answer. So he put his headphones on, he put his mask on, and he went in and just started shooting. He wouldn't even see everybody he was shooting, right? So I say that to say this. It's like, my thing with guns is, and I told you, when I was a kid, I got shot by a gun. Right. So I'm living with a bullet in my head. Right. I go through this massacre, right? I've grown up in the hood in different instances, right? We all have, right? So I'm seeing that all the time, but nothing makes me want to say we shouldn't have guns. My thing is, we need to help the people who can actually get the guns. We need to help those people, because it's the people that's killing people and hurting people. It's not the guns themselves.
Okay.
So my thing is, I support gun owners and gun. I support. We need to protect ourselves. You never know what can happen.
Yeah.
But I think that we need to be,
careful with who can and who cannot.
Like the mentality of who has the gun as well. Just like if someone were to have a mental break and they run someone over with a car, you can't take all the vehicles off of the road. It's the person who's behind that vehicle.
I can see the comments now in the comment section.
What you mean?
Because it's also there for protection. Guns it's the person who possesses the item.
Right.
So it is for protection as well.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate it, Miss Riri. Mr. Eric, man, I appreciate you talking to me and shedding light. I did not know your story about Colorado. Well, I didn't know a lot of your story. Oftentimes, I like to come to interviews, and most interviewers do not. But I think when you come to an interview and you don't know everything, you find out more, and you're I hate to use the word pleasantly surprised. You find out things about the person that you didn't know that make the story resonate even with you as you're talking to, like, somebody could be watching and they get a different feel. As I'm having a conversation, I'm going through the same thing that the viewer may be getting, because I'm like, wow, you was there. I forgot all about that shooting. So, and then with the Sundown movie, somebody like, I ain't never even heard of no Sundown. So you're educating, because we assume that everybody knows what we know.
And what Eric was saying earlier, like, a lot of the younger people don't know what a sundown town is.
Right.
There's been some older people since we started filming have told me personally they didn't realize that they grew up in a sundown downtown. It was like that we're bringing that awareness to people, that this exists. It has existed and it's still existing today.
And just the last piece, You mentioned earlier, like, man, I never hear about those people who go through these shootings. I'm telling you, there's people that go through those shootings, and, like, I was like, I'm like, I want to scream, like, remember us, remember me, like, y'all forget about us.
Yeah.
And we got to go and we just deal with life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That stuff, it's like, because I sit there and I used to want to scream. Like, I used to would not be able to go into places like a mall, an airport, because everything was so loud at that point. Everything was loud. I hear all the voices. And I wanted to scream at y'all, like, don't y'all know y'all not safe? Like, my bubble of security was popped that night. And at that point, it's like, I'm not trying to be too graphic, but it's like you realize, man, you can go to Walmart tonight and
something. You're right.
You can go anywhere, and
it's not to scare anybody. It's just the truth.
Yeah.
And that plays into this whole thing with Sundown. It's like, man, you can be traveling with your family and going on a road trip, and you just, I got to stop to get some directions or reconnect. boom, that could be
Something
it.
happens.
Because you don't know where you at.
Yeah.
It's just like really you going into the wrong hood.
Yeah.
Me.
Because that can happen.
You know,
at any place, at any time, in any major city. Yeah,
I gotta make sure my gas is right.
Yeah.
Because I can't be stopping over in such and such.
Yeah, it could happen.
You know,
it could happen.
It could happen.
Wrong place, wrong time, wrong day, bro.
Right.
It could happen. So you're right, Mr. Eric. I appreciate it. Definitely. If people want to. I know you already gave the information. I want you to give it again, though. One, about the movie, getting tickets. And then if you're on social, because people want to follow people, they love people's stories. And that's for both of y'all, if you don't mind. But start with the movie information. That's very important.
Okay.
Give that again. And then give me the socials, too, so people can follow you and find out more about your story.
Definitely. My name is Eric Hunter, and I'm the writer, creator, and director of this movie, Sundown. You can go onto Facebook on EDH Media, and you can find us on there, and you can find the movie, and you can get your tickets, and you can buy your tickets there. Our tickets for this is $49.99. With that, you're going to get a free ebook. You're going to get a free making of this movie, a free scrapbook, a double disc soundtrack. So you're going to get a good amount of value plus a great night. We're going to have some great icons there. And, it's going to be a great night. So you can definitely reach us on Facebook, on EDH Media, and buy your tickets there. For me, I'm the real Eric Hunter across all platforms. You can find me on any social media platform and connect with us.
All right, Miss Riri.
And my social media for Instagram is RERE_ALMA_crown.
All right, Miss
And on Facebook, Riri Bridges.
All right. Now, is Crown the last name or Bridges?
Bridges is the last name.
All right. We got you, man. But I'll call you Miss Riri. That's the way you introduce yourself to me. Again, thank you guys. Good luck on the movie.
Absolutely.
Movies, I love when they have an educational piece to it. Mm-hmm. And the frightening and scary thing about the movie that you have is that it still exists. At the time of this is 2024. Mm-hmm. And you would like to think that that's something that only your parents went through and that it was something that you heard about from 1957.
Right.
And here it is all these years later, and these things still exist. And you're like, man, with all the people who died and fought for rights and did this and did that, we still having that fight?
Right.
So I often get surprised by these things every day. But congratulations to you all. Thank you so much, and I appreciate y'all time. Thank you so much, sir.
Absolutely.
Ma'am, thank you.
Thank you.